Happy Friday! Here we go. We're getting much closer to the upcoming storm system. Of course, also closer to the weekend. But at this point, I don't know. It doesn't really feel like a Friday, this impending storm system bearing down on us. We have some rough weather ahead. But here's a look outside with our Gwaltney Group camera from Signal Hill in northwest Rochester. A blustery, cold, gray day so far, though. Snow-free. It's just after 8:30 on this Friday morning as I sit here at the studio. In northwest Rochester at KTTC, KXLT Fox 47. Watching the snow come in. The heaviest activity approaching Des Moines. Already Omaha's had a couple of bursts of heavy snow. And you see the light snow approaching Mason City. That'll be arriving there in the next hour or so, or about 10 o'clock or so, and spreading eastward through the course of the late morning and early afternoon. Here in Rochester, snow between 11 and 12, maybe a little after that, depending on how quickly that band arrives. But anyway, we're talking around lunchtime. There's a winter storm warning that kicks into effect right at 12 o'clock here for Rochester as we look at the possibility of heavy snowfall for the afternoon and strong winds. And then by evening, there's a chance of freezing rain for a time. So that mixes in here and there, and that may create an icy coating on top of the heavy snow that will fall today, and then more snow and more wind beyond that. This is quite a dynamic system, and there are many layers and many levels of difficulty here, and many reasons for a headache. It's going to be a rough looking next 36 hours or so, basically today and most of tomorrow, at least through tomorrow evening, with the possibility of the wintry precipitation and blowing snow. The winds for the system are going to be unreal for quite some time. And the temperatures, they're going to be better than recent days, 20s, but at no point will ever feel that warm because of all the wind. Winds are going to be howling out of the southeast today, out of the northwest by tomorrow into tomorrow night. So here's a look at the situation right now. Temperatures have been climbing since midnight. We bottomed out last night at 5 below zero in Rochester, but now temperatures are still steadily climbing with those southeast winds kicking in. 6 degrees in Rochester, Mason City 10. It's 12 in Owatonna. Looking out at the forecast, at least the current conditions here in Rochester, 18-mile-per-hour winds. 13 below the wind chill, but air pressure pretty high right now. High pressure still receding to the east, but that air pressure is rapidly falling rapidly, 30.63 inches of mercury, and that is leading to some stronger wind gusts. Wind chill levels across the area, sub-zero by at least a few degrees. Right now, look at the 8-hour planner, some light snow by 11 or 12 o'clock. Heavier snow between 2, 4, maybe 5 o'clock, and then you see that freezing rain mixing in. At least the chance of that by 6. It looks like between 6 and midnight we'll have that possibility of temperatures aloft reaching that critical zone with some of those readings in the temperatures at least warm enough aloft that create some freezing rain. And the loss of ice in the clouds is something we talk about. You know, the particles of precipitation are caused by the ice aloft, and sometimes you lose that ice, you get freezing drizzle as there's that lift and that moisture in the air, but none of that ice aloft to create hydrometeors. In other words, the form of snowflakes or raindrops. You get freezing drizzle instead, and some of that may be what we see after 9 o'clock as well. But looking at 25 for late afternoon, early evening high temperature, there's that snow building in ahead of that storm system as it approaches from the plain. And look at how many counties, how many states are impacted by this storm system. A potpourri of colors, and all of them very wintry. For us, it's a winter storm warning for most of us. That goes until 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Winter weather advisory for a handful of our counties to the east. And looking to the west, that will start as a winter storm warning, but by 6 a.m. tomorrow, it's a blizzard warning because of those wind gusts for areas around Fairmont, Spencer, Iowa, Algona. Those wind gusts tomorrow will approach 50 miles per hour with all that fresh snow on the ground. So that is going to lead to some blizzard conditions. Now for us, in most of our area, not necessarily blizzard conditions, and part of that is because of the freezing rain concern. That may make the surface conditions a little crustier, not as good for blowing that around. That may reduce some of that threat. Still blowing snow a concern, just not maybe as much of that, that reduction in visibility for as long a period of time as it would require for a blizzard warning. So here's what we're facing for today's snow developing. Heaviest late in the day after about 2 or 3 o'clock for the late afternoon. An ice coating possible tonight. 6 degrees in Rochester, 24 in Lincoln, 27 in Dodge City. That warmth building in, although 20s are not necessarily warm, but warmer than the sub-zero weather we had yesterday or even early this morning. There's a snow, the heaviest of that, through the heart of the afternoon, and then we go to the evening, a little of that pink, a little of that purple showing up here and there, and that's also where we get this dry slot. We may have a lull in the action right around midnight. And that will also reduce the snowfall threat. That's also when we may see a little bit of that freezing drizzle. Then the waves of light snow on the backside of the system between around 3 and 7 or 8 tomorrow morning. The snow's pretty much done by 9, though. I'll have maybe a couple of snowflakes here and there at that point. But then it's just downright windy with blowing snow. Gusts to 45 miles per hour across our area locally. And it's going to cause blowing snow through at least 6 o'clock tomorrow night, maybe even as late as midnight. Looking at some blustery, cold sunshine that'll slowly break through on Sunday, but high temperatures will be barely above 0 on Sunday with Arctic high pressure coming in. 4 to 7 inches of snow overall. I'm thinking 5 or 6 inches here in Rochester. Areas to the south might even see less because of the presence of that freezing rain and the freezing drizzle. Northward, less of that concern, so just fluffy snow. So 6 to 9 inches around Red Wing toward Cannon Falls, Twin Cities. They may see 9. A couple spots west of the Twin Cities maybe see 10 or 11 inches. For us today, though, look for 2 to 4 inches of afternoon snow, with snow building in the middle part of the day. Windy and cold. Temperatures in the 20s. It'll take until evening really to get there. Southeast winds up to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, there's that snow and then some freezing rain in the evening hours, slowly mixing in here and there. Temperatures around 23 overnight. Southeast winds up to 40 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, temperatures start at 26. Falling temperatures to the day. Snow early, but less than half an inch of morning accumulation through about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And then the winds up to 45 miles per hour, causing blowing snow all the way until well after sunset tomorrow. By evening, in fact, tomorrow, we'll have temperatures in the single digits. By midnight tomorrow night, will be below 0. We'll start off Sunday 5 below 0. At no point will that wind chill get anywhere close to 0. The wind chill values on Sunday, 20 below or colder all day. High temperature of 4 degrees, kind of a breezy day. Cold sunshine Monday and Tuesday, and then a chance of a wintry mixture late Wednesday into Thursday with another system coming up down the road. At this point, not necessarily the same as this one. Let's hope not. It's days away, but we will watch that in time and get a better idea of what's going to happen down the road. In the meantime, we're focused on what's happening here today and tomorrow. And the bottom line is, if you don't have to travel, probably best to stay home if you can. It looks like a pretty rough situation, especially tonight with that freezing rain, and tomorrow with the blowing snow going on all day, and the possibility, not necessarily huge amounts of snow. We'll top out at most, maybe in the north part of the area, might see a little more than 7 inches, but most of us 5, 6 inches I think will be a common number, but which is a significant amount anyway. But it's going to be just a mess overall with the layers of freezing rain and the snow being blown around, and really cold wind chills too. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a safe and enjoyable weekend. Don't forget the Eagles Cancer Telethon on KTTC. Starts at 8 o'clock Saturday night, runs all the way until 4 on Sunday afternoon. My shift, 4 a.m. until 7 a.m. on Sunday. The usual shift for me is nothing unusual there. And don't forget, if you're watching Saturday evening, I'll be performing with the Rochester Caledonian Pipe Band coming up at about 8:20. So a little bit after the program begins, we're going to play, I don't know, about 5-10 minutes, I think. So hopefully everybody can join us and support a great cause, Eagles Cancer Telethon, now in its 66th year as we fight cancer. In the meantime, hope everybody has a safe and enjoyable weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday.